Hello, students. I would like to share with you some thoughts and advice that I find myself giving fairly frequently, but I wanted to share it formally and say that while this is normal advice, I want to amplify it 100 times in this moment of spring 2020, where your lives in some form or another have been turned upside down. And certainly our class, as we knew it, and what you signed up for and what we experienced in the first half of the semester has completely changed. So I know that everyone is going through their own challenges. For some of you, it's more work at a job that has become much more stressful. For some of you, it might be less work that has resulted in financial stress. And for all of you, your classes have moved to an online or remote delivery system, which isn't what you signed up for, and it's not what we signed up for either. So know that we know that. Know that we desperately want you to cross this finish line with us a month from now, and feel that you've gotten something out of our class. So this short video is entitled How to Pass My Class. And again, while this advice is pretty standard, I can't stress enough that I mean it in terms of wanting you to complete this class successfully and knowing and having every confidence that you can. Sometimes good enough is all you can give, and it's enough. I know that for many of you, and me too, if we feel like we can't give something our all, sometimes our knee-jerk reaction is to just kind of fall into a paralysis and not do it at all. And some of you might be feeling that way right now, because not only is that a normal reaction in the semester to school, to anything in life where we have a task that we have to do and there are deadlines, if we feel like we can't complete it perfectly or to the best of our ability, why do it? Sometimes good enough is enough. And now is one of those times. So while I wouldn't encourage you always to just, give it a mediocre shot, I think that we are in a moment now that as you adjust and try to finish up your classes, good enough might be enough, and that's fine. So remember that sometimes good enough is enough. And it's better to have just at least done it and then not do it. Be kind to yourself, because when we get kind of caught up in that trap of feeling like, well, I can't do this, I don't have enough time to do this assignment with the time that it needs, so I'm just not going to do it, then we feel even worse and guilty and miserable, and we get caught in this cycle, because by that point, something else might be late. Even if it's the bare minimum, do something. Turn in that assignment, whatever it might be, get it out of the way and start working on the next thing. Because it's very, very easy to get caught in that trap of procrastination and guilt and self-loathing, where you didn't complete one assignment and then all of a sudden you're underwater. So turn something in. Be kind to yourself, and if you feel guilty for not being motivated to do your work, not even not doing your work, but feeling guilty that you don't feel motivated to get things done, so then you don't do it, and then you feel worse. It's just a terrible cycle that is really unpleasant and can be broken by just getting something done, even if it isn't your best work. So just do something. Turn in something, and then do better the next time. Sometimes, pretty much in all of my classes, I'm asking you to write a lot, or to write as the major part of your assessment. And I think one of the secrets about writing that even professional writers will tell you is that it often feels quite miserable to write. Like, it's really hard to sit down to the keyboard, and even while you're writing something, it doesn't feel great, but it feels awesome having done it. So drag yourself to the keyboard. Even if you feel like you don't have much to say, you don't want to really do the assignment, sit down, start typing. You might find that you have something really interesting to say, and it feels good to say it. You often don't know that until you sit down and start. But don't be discouraged if writing doesn't feel good. It often doesn't feel good. The thing that feels good about writing is having it finished. So remember that. Just sit down and write something. You will have papers that you're proud of. You'll have papers that you're not super proud of, but turn in something. Sit down and write. Sometimes when I give reading assignments that I know are kind of unreasonable, way too many pages, way too many selections on a text list, I will tell students, and I will say, please don't repeat that I'm saying this, but maybe skim this. Maybe skim this really long selection. I'd rather you skim it than not read it at all. This might be one of those times, very broadly speaking, that skimming is better than not doing. And this is kind of related to that good enough advice, right? That it's better to just kind of skim something than not open the book. And I'm hoping that you'll approach, perhaps, if you are feeling underwater, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you don't have time, I'd rather you skim than not open the book. I think that's that. Obviously, that's really kind of broad advice, but in any of my classes, if you can remember that, if you can remember to be kind to yourself, that good enough is okay, and that sometimes just turning in something is what you need to do, even if it's not your best work. Do it and put one foot in front of the other, and you'll feel good in mid-May. This semester is unprecedented. Everything is different than normal. Your classes are different, your life is different, the school is different, our world is different. So know that, and know that we know that, but know also that we want you to have the best experience possible in our classes. And ask for help. I think that that is probably pretty obvious advice, since anytime I've spoken to you or recorded a video or sent you an email, I've basically begged you to reach out if you need anything. But now more than ever, if you have a question, if something seems unclear, ask us. We are here for you. So I'm not going to sign off by asking you to do your best, because now might not be the time that your best is available. But good enough might be it. Let me know if you need anything. We've got this. We can do this. We can finish strong. Have a good evening.